What do you do when there are lots of wicks like this, Ovi? Do you look at other time frames? Well, no, not really, because like, where's your stop? So let's say, for instance, enter here, stop is maximum here, because you don't want to get stopped out right at the help of the 200, right? So your stop is under that. Who cares what it does unless you get stopped out? So you're waiting for your first profit take, or you're waiting to get stopped out. What it does in between should not really matter most of the time unless you get the damage control play. If you don't get the damage control play, then basically relax. If you do anything in between really that is not planned, you are in Diddy's house in one of his freakouts. You understand? That's called a freakout. It's dark, you're oily, and you're in big trouble. Like, so don't try not to try not to freak out. You got your stop. You know when it's time to take a profit based on your profit rule. Unless you get a damage control scenario, sit tight and ride it out. Now, if part of your plan is what our trader had a time stop as part of his plan. His time stop was 15 bars. If after 15 bars, his rule is if after 15 bars, I don't get a profit taking right, or I don't get a stop out, I kill the trade because time is money. That's fine. No, have I been to one of the parties? No, 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 no. A time stop is not a freak out if it's a line item on your plan. How is that a freak out? If it's a line item in your trading plan, it's decided ahead of time. Anything that is decided ahead of time is not freaking out. Freaking out is for no reason on your list. You're just getting out. It's usually an act of camouflaging fear. All right, you're fearing something. Oh, it's the first one. Ah, it's this one. I see. Where's the stop? Okay, that's a mistake right there. That's a mistake. There is nothing that I've ever taught you stop under the two bottoming tail bars. You got two stop options, right? Event or what? Event or max. Pivot is an event or max. So if your stop is in the middle of support or something, or near the 200, or right in the middle of support, what should you use? You got to go max here. Why would you want to stop out right in the help? That's the help. If anything, that's a buy zone. So you got to get that stop under the help. No, Dylan, that's not adding to a loss. A loss is a stop out. Adding to a loss is if you have passed your stop out point and then you add to try to save yourself. If you're not stopped out, you don't have a loss. So this is a mistake. So we already covered the mistake. You don't stop out. Like, let's say, for instance, guys, here's your bar. Here's your clearing event. You enter this bar, and there's your 200 there. You don't put the stop under the bar right there. You got to do a max. Don't get stopped out at the help. Same thing if you are coming out of a base, a tight, narrow base like this, and you enter, you don't put your stop under the event in this case. You got to get under the help. This is the help. You got to get, that's why you have a maximum as an alternative to event for scenarios like this. So look at the difference of what that would have caused. All right. Enter max down here. This becomes an add, and the rest is history. The other thing I will say is this. If you are forced to stop out at a stupid location, because this is not the smartest location to stop out, because stocks tend to do this. They break out, pull back to the breakout point somewhere here, and then go. All right. That's a very common occurrence. Break out, you pull back, and boom, very common, which is why you got to get under that help there. If you are forced, sometimes your maximum stop forces you to get out at a stupid location. That is when you got to get out because you should never violate your maximum. So let's say, for instance, maximum loss was here for the trader. Even though, I'm not supposed to be getting out there, but I can't violate my maximum. Well, take the loss. And on the very next signal to get back in, if you get it, re-enter. Every trader needs re-entry rule. The main re-entry rule you should have is when I'm forced to get out at a stupid location, if the stock gives me another buy almost immediately after, it is an automatic re-entry. But sometimes you are forced. And I see it all the time like this. Like you've got this 200 here, right? You get something like this. You surge. That's a nice event right there. Stock comes back in on you, nicks you out because your maximum was here. Why? Because maybe that bar was tall. I don't know. But if your maximum was there, you say, like that is not the place to get stopped out. I'm going to take the stop. If I get something like that, dual bottoming tail bar is right after my stop out or something, and boom, I'm re-entering that. You understand? So I got stopped out at or near support. I had to take the stop, but the stock gave me another powerful reason to re-enter. I'm in.